Hey guys, it's Paul from Online Sax Academy, and in today's lesson we're doing the classic Christmas tune Frosty the Snowman. So in today's lesson, we're going to be doing this tune in 3 different ways. For the beginner version, we're just going to go once through the melody, and I've kept it really simple and I've slowed it down a bit. You can get the free PDF for this beginner version, and that's available in the link down below at onlinesaxacademy.com. Now, as I said, we're taking this a little bit slower. We're going to be taking it around 120 BPM, and I've simplified some of these rhythms as well, so it's nice and easy to read and play. For the alto sax, we're in the key of D major, so you've got 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. And for the tenor sax, you're in the key of G major, so you've got F sharps. And I'd recommend warming up with that scale, so D major scale for alto saxes and G major scale for tenor saxes, as this will warm up your fingers and get you used to those sharps. And don't forget about the arpeggio as well. That's the 1st, 3rd and 5th note from that major scale. Being able to smoothly move around those notes over an extended range on the sax. An extended range meaning you don't just have to limit yourself to 1 octave. You can continue on up the scale up to a note you feel comfortable with. So for example, on the alto sax, that D major scale fits quite nicely as a 2-octave scale, and you can start from low D and go all the way up to that palm key D. But if you're newer to sax, you don't have to go all the way up to those higher notes, but do have a go at extending the range a little bit. So maybe you go beyond that middle D up to maybe E, F sharp, G and A. And I definitely recommend doing this without looking at any notated music as well. If you can find your way around that scale without reading it, you'll find you learn it a lot more deeply, and then it really helps when you then go to play a song that's in that key. Okay, so here's that beginner version. Remember, you can always use YouTube's playback speed settings to slow this music down a little bit at first, just to get used to it. And if you become a premium member at Online Sax Academy, you'll be able to download the backing track, so there's no saxophone, it's just the backing, so you can try playing this song all by yourself as well. Okay, so for the intermediate version, what we're doing now is speeding it up a little bit. And I've also pushed and pulled around some of these rhythms to make them a bit more offbeat, a bit more jazzy, and that's more in the style of this song. When you become a premium member at Online Sax Academy, you'll have access to the intermediate and advanced PDFs, along with the performance and backing tracks as well, so you can print these out and go through them. So of course you can learn this specific version, but it's not like this version is set in stone. This is just an example of how you can modify a melody to make it sound a bit more jazzed up. What I'd also recommend you do is compare what I've done with the beginner version and see if you can come up with similar ideas yourself. And this is where playing along with those backing tracks can be really useful, because you can start to do your own interpretation of the melody as well. A good tip for when you're starting to come up with your own versions of the melody is just have a go at singing it and see what naturally comes out. And you'll probably find that you're naturally moving things around to make it sound more interesting anyway. And then you can try and play what you sang. Okay, so here's that intermediate version. Okay, so next up we've got the advanced version. For the melody in this one, I was also adding a few little lead-in phrases, a few little answer phrases, so you'll see there's generally a few more notes on the page, along with moving those rhythms around like I did for the intermediate version. Along with this, there's also an improvised solo as well, where I'm improvising over the chords of Frosty the Snowman. Now, there's lots of different approaches you can take when you're improvising over a song like this, but one of the more simpler approaches is not to worry about outlining all of these chords first of all. You can have a go at using the major pentatonic scale, and you can also add in the flattened third, and that will turn the major pentatonic into what's often called the major blues scale. And you'll hear how that flattened third just adds a little bit of bluesiness, and you can see how I've used that note in my improvising. That scale will allow you to float over the top of those changes, and you can really focus more on your rhythm and phrasing and playing nice melodic lines. Now, if you're someone that's completely new to improvising and you'd like to learn to start how to do this, then over at Online Sax Academy on the courses page, I've got a Learn to Improvise course, which I'm currently building out. And this steps you through right from the very beginning, from someone that's never improvised before, all the way up to improvising over classic jazz standards and pop chord sequences. And of course, if you're already learning how to improvise, you can have a look at some of the phrases I played during the solo section and use that as inspiration for your own solos. Okay, so remember to grab your free PDF and do have a look at the memberships page where you can see everything else we have on offer. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on future lessons, and I'll see you guys next week.